Hey there friends on YouTube, it's the JTL, I'm back again, and this is the second video in a row where you don't have to look at my face, or at least not yet. I just wanted to jump in here for a quick second. It's going to be a little bit different video than what I normally do. What you see in front of you is not a set of headphones or any kind of gaming stuff or anything like that. What you see in front of you here is another brand new purchase that I just made for myself. Some people ask, how is it that you can afford to do all these things, Jason? And most of the time I'm selling stuff and buying stuff, basically spending the same money over and over and over again. I've been a guitar player since I started playing when I was 5. I started playing seriously, when I was a teen, and now I've basically been playing seriously for about 30 years. I'm by no means any kind of like screaming rock and roll soloist or anything like that. I'm mainly a singer. I back myself up. And I've kind of been on a quest over the past couple of years to find, the right electric guitar for me to be able to write on and take and rely on for live shows and that kind of thing. And I've been through a bunch of different guitars. I'd never really checked out a Stratocaster though. And so what you see before you here today is in fact a Stratocaster. See, when I was a kid, way back in the day, Stratocaster shaped guitars were in my mind not necessarily something that people like me, little punk rock kids, were all that into. Strat shaped guitars were, pointy headstock guitars that hair metal bands played and, screaming metal soloists got into. And the Stratocaster itself seemed like it was kind of more of a blues and maybe even just a straight up old man guitar. So I played Gibsons, I played Telecasters, I played a lot of different things. And never really paid much attention to the Stratocaster, but in the past week or so, I've really been thinking about, or 2 weeks really, almost 3, really been thinking about trying out a Stratocaster. They are very versatile instruments, make a lot of different noises. And I've been, for most of my electric guitar playing career as a rhythm guitarist, sort of a set it and forget it, turn the amp up until you get some overdrive or stomp on a pedal or whatever, and then just go. And I want to get away from being that kind of guitar player and into being something more of a real player. I've been taking classical guitar lessons for a couple of years. I want to be more of a player than I have been in the past. So that's why you see before you this thing. Now, first thing I want you guys to check out is look at this case. This is an SKB case. SKB, well-known company for making solid travel cases. This is like a guitar case unlike any that I've ever seen before. I mean, the attention to detail here has been just like straight up amazing. I'm going to show you the so I don't know, see this? When you press down, it just clamps. When you pull up, it unclamps. I mean, that to me is like kind of an amazing thing. So there's 3 of those. You got 1, 2, 3, and it's open without any sort of flapping, any sort of flapping loop like a lot of other cases have. It's got a lock on it here. It comes with 2 keys. Now you might be wondering, hey, did you pay a bunch of extra money for this case? No, in fact I didn't. I went to the store just planning on buying a used Stratocaster or some kind of cheap Squire Stratocaster and making that really the thing that I wanted to sort of baby and turn into something great. And there were some there, but what I ended up getting was this. Now, it's President's Day weekend, and so I went up to Guitar Center. There's no Guitar Center in the town where I live. The closest one is in Cedar Rapids. So every once in a while I drive up there just to look around. I went looking for a cheap guitar. I walked away with no cheap guitars. This is a 2013 American Deluxe Stratocaster. So what is so deluxe about it? Let's zoom in here. I mean, I've already showed you the case, which is pretty darn deluxe. but let's just zoom in here a little bit and see a little bit more. Okay, so we'll take a look here at the body of the guitar. Now, first thing you'll notice if you're familiar with Stratocasters is there's a humbucking pickup in the bridge position, and because I've been a Les Paul type guy, humbucker type guy for a long time as a rhythm guitar player, I was really nervous about going away from that and into single coils, because single coils, there are times when I never felt like I was getting enough oomph out of them. Again, I was less of a player then, more of a player now, I hope. It has these stainless steel saddles. These are what are called Fender N3 pickups. They're noiseless pickups. If you know anything about single coil pickups in guitars, they're subject to 60 cycle hum through the electrical systems in a house or something like that, right? You know, if you're on stage and there are lights, or you know the electronics are dirty in the venue, you can get some of that 60 cycle hum. It's got the normal 5-way selector switch. Now, where the Deluxe starts to get a little bit different is it uses more premium woods, according to the Fender website. You get some different choices of finish. This is Olympic Pearl with the tortoiseshell pickguard, and the rosewood fingerboard also comes in a maple neck. So, if you're interested in that, now down here in the electronics is where it starts to get interesting. So, you see here, you have what they call an S1 switch. Now, basically what this S1 switch does, and you have 5 positions here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you press this, you get another 5. It gives you different permutations of pickups, gives you different options, different combinations of what pickups are being used at different times. So more tonal options, basically. And with the humbucker, I mean, there's basically no sound that a guitar makes that this guitar can't in some way approximate if you as a player are able to figure out how to make it do that. That last part is the important part. Another thing about the electronics here is you've got this button here. They call this the passing lane button. You press that button and it basically routes everything past volume, tone control, everything else. It just goes straight to the bridge, to the bridge humbucker. It gives you a big, loud, crunchy sound, which I guess they think of as, hey, that's so you can play solos without having to change your settings on the guitar or anything like that. I don't know if I'm going to find a whole lot of use for those things, but it's nice to have them there. This is pretty much like the only electric guitar that I have at this moment. And so I want something that's versatile. People have sort of negative opinions about the noiseless pickups, the N3s, and the ones that have come before it. So far, I really like them. They're a little bit fuller to my ears than the normal Fat 50 Strat pickups that you would get in an American Stratocaster. Another big difference, so these bridge saddles are different. You don't get the sort of old style bridge saddles. You get these stainless steel bridge saddles, and they're supposed to help you stay in tune a little bit more. You also get this, which I'm going to stick it in here for you, is a pop-in whammy bar. So instead of having to spool it in there and then have it sort of wobbling around, it stays pretty firmly in place. And the whole bridge setup is a little bit altered to help the guitar stay in tune. That's the biggest thing for me, is that there are some features on this guitar that will absolutely keep it in tune a whole lot better than Stratocasters of other vintages. So let's turn here. I want to talk about, just real quickly, you see here, I'll bring it up to the camera and see if I can get it to focus in. There we go. This is the LSR nut. This is basically a metal nut instead of a synthetic bone, or whatever else it is that you want to use. And it has a couple of ball bearings in each string hole, and that again keeps it from binding. that again helps it stay in tune a little bit better. And it has these strings are in relief, so that they there's no string tree here. As you can see, there's no string tree. The tuners themselves are at different levels, which I guess eliminates the need for a string tree. So the last thing that I should talk about, I'll flip the guitar over here a little bit, is locking tuners. So again, maximizing your ability to stay in tune. So what else does this purchase get you? You get a Fender leather strap, and it comes with strap locks, which is nice. I mean, you know, say what you want, but neither here nor there. Having a strap and strap locks is a very worthwhile thing to have. And, you know, the rest of the case candy is what it is. I mean, here's, you know, Allen wrenches. You've got all sorts of manuals here. As you can see right here is, this is telling you what all the different positions on the switch give you in terms of pickup configurations. So all the different 5-way switches. And then you've got your keys for the case itself. And that's basically the walk around of the guitar. Now I'm gonna take a few minutes here, and I'll give you a few minutes of playing. Again, I'm not like a huge soloist or anything, but I'll walk you through the playing, and you'll get a sense of some of the things that the guitar can do. So I'll be back with that in just a second. Here we are. Guitar just plugged straight into a Fender Mustang amp, the Mustang 1, I believe. It's got a little 8-inch speaker. It's a pretty cool amp. I'm going to do a review of this amp as well in a later video. But right now I've got an SM57 going into a Focusrite Scarlett interface, and I'm just basically going to run through everything, all the selector switch settings, and give you guys a sense of how things sound with this S1 system, as well as the passing lane button that's down here. So you can see here, passing lane is that white button that's in between the two tone knobs. So this is the neck position without the S1 switch in. The Mustang amp is set at, I guess it's set at a 59 Bassman, so this is a modeling amp. Running a 59 Bassman setting with a little bit of reverb. Or maybe a lot of reverb, depending on how you feel about reverb. So with the S1 switch plugged in, and the S1 switch is again right here. It's, you know, it's sort of a false front on the volume knob. So you push that in and you get something that's a little bit beefier, mid-rangey sound. So that's the neck pickup. So this is the in-between middle and neck. A little bit of that Stratocaster honky sound. I mean, again, I'm not a huge guy for Stratocaster, so I don't really know what Stratocasters, you know, I'm not a Strat guru, so I don't really, I mean, to me this sounds like a honky blues Stratocaster. So as you can tell too, with this nut, this bindless nut here, as well as the bridge, bend and doesn't go out of tune. So this is middle, in between middle and neck, position 2. This is with the S1 switch. Again, I mean, more of a beefy Stratocaster sound. Middle position, which is one of my favorites right now, has some of the brightness of the neck pickup, but also some of the just sort of, you're starting to get a little woolly. So this is with the S1 switch in. Again, kind of a more woolly, honky sound. I don't know if I like that one as much. Here is the 4th setting. So this is in between these two pickups. So, kind of honky. Let's see what the S1 switch sounds like. So you're starting to get a little bit of that humbucker crunch, as well as still some of that in-between switch honkiness. This is kind of a nice sound. So you get a little honkiness there. And then finally, the humbucker. Come on, you don't tell me you don't love Pat Benatar. No, everybody loves Pat Benatar. Let's see what this does. Not really a huge difference there. Okay, so the last thing to check out, and again, on the Fender website, you're going to be able to see what everything is all about in terms of what all these different positions on the switch and the S1 button do. And I don't really have it all memorized at this point, so. So let's go one last time. Let's get this passing lane switch, which bypasses everything all the tone controls and all that. So that's that really crunchy Fender or Les Paul / humbucker type sound. Take off that passing lane switch and you're back to something pretty nice. So I mean, if you want to get some overdrive, you're just like, and then you really want to hit something, passing lane switch is your ticket. So that's kind of the deal with the Fender Deluxe Stratocaster with the S1 switch, the passing lane button, and the HHS configuration with the humbucker here. I'm not totally convinced if I love this humbucker or not. It gives some nice crunch, but I'm just not totally convinced yet. As always, especially with Stratocasters, which are made to be able to swap pickups in and out and all that kind of stuff, I can change this out to something else. But right now, I'm just going to live with it stock and see what I feel like is going on. So that's it. I will talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching. This is a Fender Deluxe Stratocaster, I believe, made in 2013. And I hope you enjoyed the video.